Country pasta, no clue far from the land. Tottenham stranded in shadows, no man's land. Lost on the pitch, echoes in the night. Fans screaming loud, no end in sight. Shift the blame like drifting sand. Promises empty, no steady hand. Wandering clueless in the football mist. Wishing for a twist, but nightmares persist. Shift the blame like drifting sand. Promises empty, no steady hand. Wandering clueless in the football mist. Wishing for a twist, but nightmares persist. Where's the Leo we waited in vain? Pains us deeply every season the same. No direction, stumbling blind. Tottenham's lost its mind. Speechless, impressed, they're at the ground. No solutions, nowhere to be found. Fans on the side, hearts turned to stone. Stadium echoes a lonesome drone. Whispers in the air, they speak of change. Up on the horizon feels so strange. Question marks in every wayward pass. And close the future fading fast. Where's the Leo we waited in vain? Pains us deeply every season the same. No direction, stumbling blind. Tottenham's lost its mind. Where's the Leo we waited in vain? Pains us deeply every season the same. No direction, stumbling blind. Tottenham's lost its mind.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Tottenham Away, the best place. Blah 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 blah. Smash a like, subscribe, hit the notification. I'm beyond caring. I don't care. In fact, don't smash the like, unsubscribe, deactivate the notification bell. This club is rotten like no business. Guys, honestly, I'm laughing because, like an idiot, an imbecile, I said we'd beat AZ Alkmaar. We'll go out in the semi-finals. I don't think we might not get to the quarters, okay? We should beat AZ Alkmaar second leg. We should, but I'm not going to say we will now. Anyone that tells me, right, Levy isn't the problem, let me explain this. Who kept Ange? Levy. Who hired Munn, who said get Ange? Levy. Who hired Lange? Levy. These signings are the repercussion of the mediocrity that Levy hires to do the jobs. Any job that goes wrong is a result of Levy making decisions based on recruitment. It's a joke. One game in 8 days. We had one game in 8 days. They played 2 games. They played 2 games since we last played. And they looked more energetic. They had more hunger. They won more 50-50 battles. They look like the team that should have won 3-0. And all our players are back. They're back on the bench. I'm absolutely stunned how much worse this can get. That was fucking shit. And this is why we're not winning the Europa Cup. Ange is going to win jack shit. And the delusion in this fan base is on a level I've never seen before. And I was here in the shitty 90s. I was here in the 90s, people. This is next level delusion. Smash a like, subscribe, hit notification bell. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. God bless you all, as always. William Leone, are we still favourites? Only idiots would have made us favourites. The bookies are out of their mind. Asking for a friend. Tell your friend to unsubscribe and deactivate the notification bell. Big up, William. Listen, I've got a great panel. Some good friends as well. I've got Hasper, original protester, Brian Daigle, original Levy Outer and school buddy, and Dan, the man that told us quite a while ago Ange has got to go. Listen, guys, on a level of shit, where do you put that? That was woeful, man. Haz, you go first because you're the first here. Haz, that we haven't seen this performance for the first time. I've been watching this for, 12 months now?
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised in the sense because we took 100 minutes to score against Tamworth with an own goal. So, like, in that respect, it's not surprising. But I still spent 5 minutes before we went on saying we're fucking shit. So, we're fucking shit. And for me, it's like, I thought we'd actually draw 1-1. So, I was quite surprised how bad we were in that way. I thought, we can at least get a draw there. I've got some hope. But
can I give you some stats? Can I give you some stats? Haz, can I give you some stats? All right. We had 1 shot on target in 90 minutes. The mighty AZ Alkmaar had 5. They had 12 shots to our 7. They had 2 clear-cut chances. We had 1. Mate, they outplayed us. From an attacking sense, they outplayed us. 1 shot on target. 1. We haven't scored in 2 games. And we've signed players. We've signed players and the injured players are back and we're not scoring. Mate, bring back Werner. Bring back Team. We need Timo. We need Timo.
But like, we're bringing fucking Tell in January. I don't know what the purpose of signing Tell was because the guy does nothing. And then it's like, I knew he played Tell, Johnson and Son up front. Like, I knew it. And they all did fuck all. The midfield was a shambles. Like, no disrespect to Bergvall, but he should not be playing that game. Like, we had no strength in midfield. Alkmaar, I don't know any of them midfielders. They were running us ragged. And then Mpoku was rinsing Spence for like the first hour. And it's just like, I can't believe what I was watching. It's just like, there's no cohesion. There's no structure. There's no, even attacking wise, we look crap now. Like, but like I said, I thought we'd draw 1-1. So now I feel like I'm overestimating how like good we are, but we're really shit at the same time. So I don't even know. At this point, I'm just lost for words. So yeah,
it doesn't stop. This mediocrity doesn't stop. And you know what? Sack Ange, sack him. But Lange's got to go. Levy's got to go. Munn's got to go. Enoch, until they're all gone, the toxicity will. Dan, before I'm going to lose it, I can tell I'm going to lose it. Dan, what do you want to say that you haven't said before? If you can.
You're on mute. What was that, Haz? That's good. It's like still. Like text.
Yeah, Dan, go for it, man. What I mean, that was next level shit.
Do you really want me to say it?
You say what you want.
Does the channel really want me to say this?
As long as it's not racist, sexist, or abusive in any way, then we will get away with it. Just about. He's going to lose it.
Come back to me after Brian.
All right, guys, the channel's getting shut down in 5 minutes. Brian, you got Daigle, listen, I saw you call into We Are Tottenham TV, and you just looked fed up. You weren't even angry; you were just fed up.
Mate, I've spoken to you on this many times. I've gone past anger. I Everton, Leicester were the anger ones, and Leicester I went absolutely batshit crazy. We have to take a long, hard look at ourselves. Forget what you think about the manager. Forget what you think about the owners. These players on the pitch. We got told. I remember being said during the build-up to Leicester, it doesn't matter about our injuries. We're going to beat Leicester. We're going to beat Leicester. We're going to beat Leicester. They're shit. They're shit. They can't get a win. They can't do anything. They can't. It's easy win. What happened? We get told, we got Tamworth in the FA Cup. This is going to be a breeze. We're going to get through it. We're going to. What happened? People say, don't worry, we've got the second leg. Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Leicester.
It's true.
We think
True.
we're living off our name. We are living off our name. That was a history that was built by this football club before these owners took over this club, and have changed it into a circus, an entertainment complex, a property portfolio, a hotel, you name it. We need to look at ourselves as fans and take a look at the pitch and realise when you say you think you're going to sneak through, we're going to get the job done, whether it be people saying, yeah, well done, it's only the old line that it doesn't matter, Ange has done it again, we only lose by 1 goal. I don't even know what that means. Do you only get half a point if you lose by 1 goal? A loss is a loss. You look at how any Spurs fan at the moment can go into a game and actually think we are going to win it. Beggars belief. You could be positive and go, I want to support my football team. I want to support them and be optimistic and hopeful and whatever. As I said on We Are Tottenham TV just now, they looked like they went onto that pitch to do us a favour. There is no professional pride. There is no hunger. There is no desire. There is no fight. There is no passion. And most importantly, there is no respect for the badge on the front of the shirt. There is absolutely none of it. They went out there like it was an expedition game, and we are going to just stroll past it because we're Tottenham Hotspur. We think we're the Harlem Globetrotters against these teams, and because we are this name, we can get by, we can do things. I'm trying to work out if this was more embarrassing or a worse performance than Tamworth. And it gets to a point now where people like the 4 of us or other people that get called all the names under the sun, whatever you want to do it for being negative, I've gone past anger. I left anger a long, long time ago. Do you know what? The worst thing is, these type of performances are actually becoming the norm. They're actually becoming the norm. And why they become the norm is because of the culture that this football club has set is not a willing mentality. There is no accountability for a manager that lost 18 games from the superiors. There is no accountability for the players putting in shit performances from the manager. They know they can put in a shit performance and it'll be like, oh yeah, don't worry, lads. I'm unlucky. We'll find some excuse to roll out the catalogue of excuses we have and we'll go again. Ange started his job saying we never stop. Right now, I think it's turned to we never start. Because where we are as a football club is night and day from anything I could imagine. I don't know if Graham is in the chat or Ryan's in the chat, and I regularly go back to this. 3 years ago in January, I stood outside a trading ground for a majority of it, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and took all the grief and adulations from it. If someone had told me I had a crystal ball and we would be here where we are 3 years later, even I wouldn't have believed it. Even I would have said that they won't let the club stoop this low. They won't let it get this low. For this game-changing stadium that was meant to bring it all, and from the Trust's 4 questions when it said, the first one was, what is your immediate and long-term plans for the future of this club? And that wanker Levy turned around and said, well, in Europe, when the last 16, 17 years, we've been in Europe 16 times. Well, Daniel, Coys. Now, in the game changer,
Coys.
Because of where we are, out of the last 3 seasons, 2 of them, we would have been out of Europe. But no, there's no accountability. It's all right. The revenue's pumping in. The players are not good enough. The manager is absolutely clueless. The director of football and scouts and recruitment, I don't even know what they're looking at. Whoever's giving them the data don't know how to read the data. And then you get to Cullen, Levy, Lewis. Hang yourselves in shame. This football club is not the football club we all became obsessed with, beloved to, have an attachment to. This football club, I keep saying it. You know when people are in hospital and they put the what's it called, defibrillator on and goes clear? Well, that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. And until, as a fan base, we unite, and what happened in the last protest, doubles, trebles, quadruples, and the pressure goes out and non-stop, these kind of things will be accepted, because it's us that should be holding this club accountable. It's us that should not be allowing this to happen. It's us that should stand up and demand better from this football club, from its manager, from its players, from its owners, from its recruitment. And until such time happens, this is the norm. Forget Europe. Forget, oh, don't worry, this summer we're going to spend money and we'll be back to where we are. We need to get back in the top half of the table. We need to then try to challenge for Europe. We are completely, totally. If anyone thinks, even
is he frozen?
They don't care. It's a paycheck now. It's a paycheck, and it's not for us. It's a very good paycheck, but in the grand scheme of things in football, it's not. We are an absolute joke. We are an embarrassment. We are pathetic. And now I'm hearing Ange just come out and blame the pitch for the loss.
Yeah.
And you know what the worst thing about this? And I'll end on this to let Dan have his say. We all two things I'll say, and it's about the filth. I remember when they went 8 years without winning a trophy. And as soon as they couldn't win a trophy, we all started singing, your season's over and you've won fuck all, or 8 years and you've won Well, we're at 16. We are at 16. And yet, no, don't worry, it's different this time. And the other thing, we all jumped on Arsenal, and I did, when Arteta blamed the pool. And I said, that's the best excuse I've heard since Ty said it's been raining. Well, now we've got a manager blaming the pitch. And that pitch didn't look too bad to me.
Well, AZ Alkmaar, man, played all right on the pitch.
We are doomed. We are absolutely doomed. And we need to snap out of this. And like I said, I'm now going to be over in London to lend my support for the April 6th protest. Anyone has any doubts about getting there and how important it is, whether you've got a ticket to the game or not. If you haven't got a ticket, come to the Coach and Horses and chill with all of us lot that are going to be there afterwards. If you can get to White Hart Lane on the 6th of April and you feel that you want change, whether it be Ange, whether it be players, whether it be, most importantly, Daniel Levy, get yourself there, because it is of utmost importance that we finally get this ownership out of this football club. Business club.
Yeah, this corporation. Henry Fong TV, thanks for super chat. How this manager can be defended by any Spurs fans, I have no clue. This manager's a fraud and a clown. The players don't want him, Ange and Levy out. The problem is the players have come out and defended him. Rich, big up, says, big up, guys. Glad Ange had 8 days to prepare. Yeah, that works well, didn't it? Big up, Terry. Big up, great panel. Ange blamed the pitch in his interview. The club is rotten. Get a lot of these frauds out. Levy, Ange, a lot of them, mate. That's why we protest. That's why we'll keep protesting. Dan, what do you think? Was it the length of the grass, the colour of the grass, or do you think they didn't fertilise it?
Fuck the grass. Fuck the game. Can I say what I want to say?
Yeah, of course you can.
And I'm going to ask one more time. Can the panel handle what I'm going to say?
As long as it's not racist or sexist, yes.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Right. I need people to keep quiet. I need panel to shut up. I need this lot to shut up. And I need people to listen. I ain't good with words. I ain't good with emotions. Yeah, I get pissed off sometimes, don't we all? I don't understand people's feelings. I don't understand why people get offended. There's a reason to it. Can you turn that off in the background? Cheers. My man keeps everyone at arm's distance. Everything. He don't look at the cameras. He's either pissed off or he's quite chirpy. Seems like a nice fella. I'm going to take back everything I've said about this man when I call him thick. Because I reckon this man's actually quite a smart fella. Everyone's had issues in their lives. Everyone's got problems. Some problems hold you back. Some problems take you forward. You learn how to adapt to your problems. Nobody follows him when he goes to another club. He don't take no one else with him. He's only got one set way of playing. Some people would say it seems like he can't count to 1, 2, 3, or he can't do an A, B, let alone a plan B. No, it's nothing to do with that. This man knows what he's doing. And this man's got it set in his head for a way because it works for him. No, it ain't working in the Premier League. My man ain't stupid. Far from it. But he has to keep everything at a distance. What I've heard about the training, the way he does it, same thing over and over and over and over. He won't even look at the defence. He's got his mind set on one thing and one thing only. And that is attack. Not that we even do a good job on it, by the way. He just does it. Again, I ain't good with words. So people got to understand I ain't going to be nasty. I ain't taking the piss. I'm actually going to open up to a couple of people in here. I've got my wife screaming at me, don't do this. But I've got it myself, along with a couple of other things. And it's very hard when you're fixated on something to get out of it. It's very hard to do things a different way when you're set on things, when you're set on your beliefs, when you're set on certain ways. You ain't thick, you ain't stupid. It just looks like it sometimes. Because there's a lot of problems out there that people don't have. And because it ain't a broken leg or a broken arm, you can't see it. I speak from experience here. A lot of it, family, stuff like that. If he ain't fully, Ange, he's got a lot of signs of autism. Without him being nasty to the fella, the way he goes about things, the way he does things. I'm speaking from experience here. And some might say you shouldn't be saying this on the show. That's why I said she's going to say what I want to say. I ain't insulting the fella, far from it. Speak from experience there. But the way everything he goes about it, if anyone on the chat here has got anything like that in their family or anything like that, put 2 and 2 together. You ain't going to get 6. Put it together. Look at him. Look at the way he does things. It don't mean you're inadequate at doing things. It don't mean you can't do nothing. It don't mean you can't be good at it. But when you're so set on it, you just can't get it. You just cannot get it out of your head to do it any other way. You just can't do it. Come love nor money. My man ain't stupid. He ain't thick, not at all. I'm telling you, no fucking about. My man's got signs of autism.
Dan, I'm going to go along with this because I don't know any different.
I'm not taking the piss out of him. I'm not giving excuses.
I get it. You're serious. I get it. No, you meant what you said. Look, I totally got it. Richard Branson's autistic, and look what he's achieved. What has his autism got to do though with tonight's result? Are you saying his autism is why he's stubborn? Is that what your opinion is? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that why? Did I understand that incorrectly?
Yeah. It's not excuses. It's reasons. Yeah. But reasons are reasons, but it don't make things right as such. Yeah. That is why he is so set on the way he does it, and he just can't see any other way. When you're so fixed on it, When you're so fixed on it still, you don't see any other way. You can't do it any other way. I'm
Apparently,
speaking from personal experience, yeah?
yeah. Apparently,
You can
there was a
try.
video. Dan,
People
there was
can
a
hammer
video.
it into your head. Hang on still. People can hammer it into your head as much as you want. You don't hear it. You don't feel it. That is why he is so set on that attack and he cannot look at that defence. That is why he can't get his head around it. And he ain't saying the man's stupid. Not at all. Fuck off. I know people with that are the smartest fuckers on the planet. But when you're so fixated in a way of doing it, because your brain won't let you do it any other way, it's the way it does it. He keeps everything at arm's distance. Everything. He stands there on the pitch. He shows lack of emotion. Arms crossed, just looking at it. Now and again, you'll see a little bit. Anyone who's got half clue about this or got it or seen people and that, yeah, add it up. Maybe I'm wrong, but do you know what? I'll go so far. I'll put £10,000 on the table now.
By the way, I said that Richard Branson is autistic. I apologise. He's dyslexic. I knew he had. There was one learning difficulty that he had. Look, there was a video. I don't know if you saw it. It was going around on socials. I saw it in a WhatsApp group.
I'm sorry to say it on your channel, still. I'm sorry to interrupt you, mate. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mate, listen, Dan, this is Tottenham away. This is Tottenham away. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen on this channel.
Look, maybe I should have said it on my own channel and that, yeah? And I ain't saying this out of being pissed off. Far from it. I've been working.
No, listen, Dan, mate, honestly.
I've wanted to say it for a while, yeah? And like I say, I've told a lot of people on there something about myself. Do I give a fuck about it? No, I don't. I really couldn't give a shit. I am who I am. Like me, lump me. If you like me, fair play. If you don't, fuck off. I couldn't care less. And like I said, I don't understand emotions and there's reasons to it. And it ain't just that. But I ain't going to go into all of that shit. It's no one else's shit. Ange's exactly the same. Mark my words. Sorry, Stel, go on.
Mate, on this channel, we pretty much let everything happen. I think that's why people like this channel, because it's quite real like that. So if you felt you needed to say it, we're here for you, man. Do you know what I mean? We're here to hear it. There was a video going around online where Son and Maddison were sitting on the bench and someone lip read Maddison. And apparently Maddison said, "We never change the play. It's always the same." So there is a conversation to be had, whether the players are fed up of the lack of adaptability and the same repeating and not working, which is something we've all questioned on our channels. Maybe Dan, you might be onto something, right? No, I don't know if you are, but you might be onto something. Lubo, you listen, Lubo, you were at the game, right? Listen, I feel sorry for you for going out there, but you brought it upon yourself. I warned you. I told you all don't go. I told you don't go to any more games, but you love it. From what we saw, that was absolutely atrocious. What was the feeling from you, and what was the feeling in the terraces from the travelling away fans that paid good money to go out there?
It was, good evening all. It was stunned disbelief at how poor the performance was. Forget the goal. That was, it was one of those things. It was a bit of a fluke. Ball came across again. Parrott left at the far post unmarked. Ball came across. Bergvale's tried to clear it and he's put it into his own net. These things happen. But apart from, I mean, we didn't have an actual intended shot on goal the whole 90 minutes. And we were just sort of looking around at people around me. I mean, I had my pal Brad on my right, Billy on my left. I think it was just stunned disbelief at just with everybody at just how poor this was. They looked like a team that had been of 11 strangers that have been just been thrown together. And you know, go off you go and play. I have never seen. Honestly, we've seen some bad teams over the years. We've had some bad seasons, but I cannot remember a situation where you have and there is something wrong with the guy. Just listening to what Dan was saying, there is something wrong with the guy because he is unable to see that his plan hasn't worked in the Premier League and he needs to adapt and change it and find a plan B. There's something wrong with him. He is either I don't know. They're neurodiverse. He is either intransigent. He is either arrogant. I don't know. Only he can answer that. There's only one person I blame.
He's
for
Greek.
this.
He's stubborn. It's a
Doesn't
Greek
matter.
trait. I know.
Right.
Us Hasper, it's a Greek trait.
Right.
The older you get, the stubborn, the more stubborn they get.
He's right. He's right.
But still, there's only one person to blame for all this mess, and that's Levy.
Of course.
He is watching this shit play out in front of him week after week, month after month, and he's sitting there doing nothing, like he's in a coma. And I just either he's very close to selling out and couldn't give a shit, or there's something seriously wrong with him, because I cannot believe a businessman just watches. I mean, the value of the club must be dropping, and he is sitting there watching it drop. And I don't know. I was having a chat with this guy in the fan zone who's been in business all his life, and he was saying that he just doesn't understand how a businessman can watch a value of a club just drop like this and do nothing about it. I'm just gobsmacked at the whole thing.
I just want to say, I don't think, unfortunately, mate, I think we're at a point, and you and I know this, well, we all know this, I don't think the valuation is plummeted because of everything that's going on off the field. The stock of Tottenham Hotspur, we've been allowed to become a laughing stock, a joke. I expect to see Paddy Power, Domino's, and everything make some funny tweets about us tomorrow, and it all go viral, and they'll all do their fun and games.
The sponsors cannot be happy.
No, the sponsors cannot.
There's no way. If you sponsor a club for the money that these sponsors put into Tottenham Hotspur, then obviously the aim is to be associated with a successful brand. This isn't successful. This is diving. I mean, I've said all along that I felt we are one of 6 clubs that could win this Europa League. When you see the way they played today, we'll be lucky to get through next week.
I don't think we do win next week. I think we're out.
I'm just gobsmacked. I mean, you've got Mikey Moore, who for me is the only generational kid that's come out of the academy for years and years. I think he's going to be a blockbuster of a player, but it probably won't be at our place. I mean, look at the way Ange is treating him. I think that's just appalling. Odebear, what the hell what's he doing? What's he doing playing this kid? I mean, Odebear, Lightel, they look completely out of their depth. Now, the system doesn't help any player, and the system is making all the players look worse than they were. I mean, Gray was putting some bad passes out today. Not his normal, not normally as good pass wise. And it's always the responsibility of the player who's making the pass to make sure that the ball goes from A to B. But there's no movement. They're static. You just look at the way that the team play. It's like they're in a coma. I mean, there were 3 or 4 opportunities when we broke, and all of a sudden, no, we'd stop, we'd turn back, and Alkmaar had all their players back and into 2 banks of 4 very, very quickly. And I don't know. It's just horrendous. The whole thing is horrendous.
Ian, can I say, right? For me, this is really, really, really frustrating, because when we signed Werner, I said exactly what was going to happen, because I knew the players we needed to bring in. And I could tell by the players we signed that we were so off the mark, considering how we finished last season. And what you're seeing now is Gray is not a centre-back, right? He's getting rinsed. You've got a Dogi who has been poorly coached and has regressed. You're seeing injuries galore because they're overworked and overpushed. You're seeing a midfield that is so dysfunctional because half those midfielders shouldn't be at Spurs. One of the worst front threes you've ever seen. Son is done. He's not at the level he was. He's not rubbish. He's not at the level. He's not the peak Son he once was. Odebert, bang average. I told everyone, Tell's not a striker. Tell's not a striker. I got rinsed. I got rinsed on my own channel. Now everyone's saying drop Tell for Scarlet. Hello. Hold on a minute. I'm sure I've heard that somewhere else before. Brennan Johnson, yeah, he scores his tap-ins. Yeah, he pops up with the odd goal. He's not good enough. He's nowhere near the level. As much as I blame Ange, because Ange is a joke. Like he talks a big game. He don't deliver. The players we've signed are nowhere near the level required. Are they better than what we're seeing? Yes. Are they good enough to get where we want? Not a fucking chance. No chance. And what's frustrated me the most, bar none, Dorrington, Donnelly, Moore, Scarlett, Lancashire, Oladeji, none of them get a sniff, not a single one, because we continue to sign players like Danso, like Odebert, like Tell, like Kinski, who take their place. If you're an academy player at Spurs, just leave. Leave the club because they're going to destroy you. We destroyed Winks. We destroyed Skip. We're going to destroy this lot. I'm telling you. And it frustrates the hell out of me. It really does, because so much of this I was saying all season. And the only solution now, and I know some people say, you know, Ange's got to go. Ange's got to go. I agree. I've been saying that since we signed Werner. You know what? Give it 2 years, guys. Another manager, another rebuild. We'll be fucked again. Until this fan base gets Levy out. Yeah, look, Iraola comes in, we get top 4, we get to a semi-final of the FA Cup, happy days. That's it. That's the ceiling. Because this ownership aren't going to sign the players we need. And they're going to keep doing these random projects. And they appoint people like Munn and Lange, who are bang average, to run the project. You know,
but for me, it's all gaslighting. That's all it is. Like,
and our fans suck it up. Has our fan base laps it up? They get sucked in every time.
Oh, now it's another project. Oh, let's repeat the same thing we did 2-3 years ago. Again, sign more young players. Oh, this player's generation was amazing. Oh, he's not that great. 2 years later. Oh, but who signs players? Oh, let's not talk about that because it's offensive. Oh, but let's get a new manager in because he's going to save us. Oh, let's just repeat this again. And it's basically what happens every 2-3 years.
Be patient. Give it time.
I don't think it's so much, you know, buying kids. That hasn't been the way. I think that I just
no, but Lupo, it is. Why buy Odebert when you've got Mikey Moore? Why buy Tell? Why buy Tell when you've got Will Lancashire? What has Tell done? What has Tell done that's any better than Will Lancashire's shown us?
Well, it's not. It's not.
It's not like I'm against signing young players completely. I just think, for me, in Windows, you should sign, say, 3 or 4 senior players and then 1 young player. And just do that until you build like an actual squad.
And bring through a couple of academy kids, Bring through a couple of our own. Otherwise, why have we got an academy?
Have a fucking plan. We don't have a fucking plan. We just do the same transfer policies as 2005. We're still doing now, 20 years later.
There's nothing.
And apparently built the stadium, blah, blah. It's the same shit. It's the same stuff. It's just different. So inflation, let's say. That's how I see it anyway.
Let me come to Brian a minute. I just got a couple of super chats. Sorry, 1 second. Where was I? A user says, Stel, we're going to win the Europa, they say. What a cat performance, man. Ange for president. Sawboy, Stel, why do you and others still support Levy? What planet are you on? Why do you and others still support Levy, Ange, and Edith by... Mate, I'm not even reading that shit.
Whatever turns you on at the end of the day.
Hold on, what did he say at the end? Because I predict a win every time we play. I said we'd lose to Man City. I said we'd beat AZ Alkmaar, but we'd lose in the semi-finals. Okay, I got a prediction wrong. I said we'd get battered at Anfield. I said we'd lose at Aston Villa. Soulboy, what? You know what? You actually watched the channel, which is why I'm confused. But listen, thanks for the £5, mate. I don't know what to say. A user, I don't get it. A user, rather put pins in my eyes than watch today's game. Mate, it was an awful performance. Brian, what?
Painful.
Yeah.
where are you at with these players we're signing? Because, you know, when we signed Tell, people said, "Oh, got him off buying, exciting." When we signed Danzo, "Oh, yep, you know, steady pair of hands." Kinksky, future Vicario replacement, and add that to the Bergvalls and the Greys, and you know, we're signing all these youngsters. But Brian, what about the youngsters that we have got for free, that we've developed from the age of 8, 9, 10? They're being pushed out.
Yeah, they are, mate. Like I said, it goes with the absolutely no planning for the present, no planning for the. It's always for the future. How many years have we said, "Oh, when it comes through in a couple of years, this goal will be great. In a couple of years, this one will be good. In a couple of years, this one will come great." I'm all for signing youngsters. I'm all for nurturing our youngsters, but you need to sign a couple of elite players or of a very, very high standard players around them to help them, to help mature them, to show them what to do, to ease them through games. We keep putting pressure on these players and keep going. Like I said to you when we did the show on Monday, Mikey Moore had that brilliant game in Europe. Then he gets played in a Crystal Palace game where he's non-existent. The whole team were. And we go back to it and we talk about your Dele Allis or whatever that came in during the Poch days. He had 10 players around him that were at the elite level, that could show him through the game, that could teach him what to do, to support him. Now we keep expecting the youngsters to do it. You look at that game. Elfsborg, was it the name of that team we played?
Yeah.
We had to. It was the youngsters that got the job done for us.
That's right.
Because the pros can't do it. The senior players can't do it. There's no leaders. There's no. There's just no. I can't see. I'm 45 years old now, like you are still. Ian's a little older than us. Haz is younger than us. I think Dan is just a little bit younger than us. And I don't know how many times we have to hear 2 more years. 2 more years. When they mature, when they get there, we've seen it time and time again that these players have these contracts. Let's just use Archie Gray, for example. If Archie Gray carries on progressing and does get in the 6 and shines, just like what happened with Michael Carrick and youngsters we do get, they'll have a couple of years of their contract left and they'll be, "I want out." Because I'm now at that level and I need you to bring in superstars at my level. But no, what we'll do is we'll go and buy some more youngsters and say, right, you have to nurture these ones now. There's no accountability. There is no standards. And like I said, if I had a kid and it was being scouted, if I had a kid and was working at your coaching school and you said, "Brian, listen, I'm getting your son a trial at Spurs," I'll say, "The hell you will." The hell you will. I won't go anywhere near Tottenham Hotspur right now, because all that happens is you'll get loaned out 58 times. Then you'll be shoved in when need be. And then, what was the name of the... what was his name? The winger we sold to went to Belgium. Is it Mundell? Was it Mundell?
Mundell went to Holland. He went to Holland before he came back to Sunderland.
Who? So
Romain
this
Mundell.
one would. Thank you, Romain Mundell, Alexander. We have these players that look like they're showing promise. They'll see their contract out. Markandé sees his contract out. They don't get a look in. They don't get an opportunity.
That's right. Markandé,
because what will happen? We just stifle them. We're stockpiling. Basically, we are stockpiling youngsters. That we have so many. You just look at it in defence. Puskovic, Dorrington, Phillips, Danso's young, Van der Ven's young. We could play about 7 defenders from the youth academy. How can you fit 7 of them into 2? You're going to have to get rid of them. We just keep stockpiling. And unlike other teams like Chelsea that do this and then sell, or Manchester City that sell their players for huge prices, we do it when they're at the end of their contract or 18 months and go, "Yeah, we'll just get a little bit of money for you." This is what keeps going on. It's a joke.
Brian, coming back on the bus, I was having a chat with 3 or 4 guys, and they're all a similar age to me. They've all been following Spurs for a very long time. And they all felt the same. They all said the same thing. We have stopped buying in the last few years the calibre of players we used to buy. I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about senior pros.
That stopped about 25 years ago, Ian.
No, but you look at the players that were in Poch's team 5 or 6 years ago, Dan, and look at the players now. Basuma,
look at the prices then.
Yeah. Seriously, I mean these players.
It was Alderberg when we got him. It was Alderberg. He was known as a good player. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah,
when he came to us, we took him up the gear. Yeah, when we took him up the gears. We weren't spending money on bigger, better known players then. We were still getting in Ericsson. A lot of potential on him. Nothing more, nothing less. Turned out excellent player.
No, but he won
the only one we actually
took
in. About the only one we actually took in that was known a very good player and could get better was Eric Lamela. Gareth Bale. Yep, there was potential there. I mean, and fuck me, was there potential there. But that weren't bought on what he can actually do now. You go through all the players we bought then. Wanyama. Yeah, he was good, but we got him better. We didn't buy them because they was that good then.
No,
we
Dan,
bought them because they was good.
They were good. They were established professionals. These guys.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they were quality players. But they weren't. That don't mean they were quality players. No.
Alderweireld won the league with Ajax. Played for Atletico.
Yeah, well done. Well done. So did 9 out of 10 players that played for Ajax.
Fine. Ericsson did. Vertonghen did. They were all league championship. They were all league champions. You know,
none of them were Man City quality. There was no one that no massive team would look at. And what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not as though we went out there and bought a massive player who was known, who could do it here and now. What we did there was buy good players that were known, and we knew we could get them better. We did not go out and spend 50 million on a player because we knew he was a top class player. Not once.
But then I think we got Wanyama in because they had the year left on his contract. Remember, we always chased players with the year left.
And we knew he was good for the system, but he weren't known for the quality he was, and it was only his kneecaps that done him in, wasn't it? I think his cartilage, if I remember right, wasn't it? Alderweireld was not a well-known quality player. He was at Southampton, for God's sake. He was known as a good player, and he had a very good season, and we got him dirt cheap. That's why we took him. And then we took him up to another level. Vertonghen, when we got him, yeah, good player. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah,
and
but we had a great coach
with us.
We had a great coach, though.
That's what I'm saying. The point I'm making is we did not go out and buy Alderweireld because he was a well-known, quality, world-class player.
No, but Dan, hold on. Some players were proven, right? Lloris was a proven French goalkeeper. Toby Alderweireld was a proven Premier League player. He played in the Premier League. Then he went. I believe he was in Spain, or I can't remember the exact history. But he was proven.
He was Atletico, and they loaned him to Southampton for a year, and we got him for Atletico.
So that's it. He had some nous about him. The players like Bale and Ericsson and others, they were a bit of an unknown. Dembele was a good player at Fulham. Like, he was a known player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
My point is, we used to sign
be a striker, for God's sake.
Yeah, he was more advanced. But no, you're right in what you're saying. But I still look at these players we've got, and I just see the way they play and the way they think, and I can tell they're not at the levels of what we. Dele Alli blew it up in the FA Cup. Dele Alli was a star in the lower leagues. Man United wanted him, and we got in the head. So he always had something about him. You could argue that Jed Spence was similar. A lot of people were talking about Jed Spence. Well, Jed Spence is actually doing really well for us. So, you know, he's someone that kind of, you could say, was in that Dele Alli kind of mold of where he was really good at the lower league. A lot of people were talking about him. I just look at this team now in this rebuild, and it's such a cheaply assembled group of players on a low wage, cheap labour. That's what it is. We are literally migrant FC, cheap labour. Just ship them in, put them on peanuts, and just
But still,
What's that?
I can't say
Stick a little barcode on the back as well, yeah.
I can't say what else about this because if you read his interview after we signed Bentancur Kulusevski, he said
Made
the
in
club
China.
signed younger players on low wages. He literally said that. If you read that interview, literally that's exactly what he said. And what has happened since he's gone is literally exactly what we did. My issue is it's not the fact we're signing just young players. It's the fact that I look back at, say, Martin Jol's years at Spurs, and I've also compared it to this. Now, the difference under Martin Jol is he would play these young players regardless of the situation, right? So he would start the Greys from the beginning. He would start, like he started Bale, for example, Reto Ziegler, all these other player names, tons of names we had on that. This manager has told us this rebuild. We've been told it's a rebuild. He signed Solanke in the summer. It's the only first-team player to come straight in. It's not just that. We've not really changed the team. It's not really even a rebuild as such. Because the only reason Bergval's playing, Gray's playing, is because the senior players are injured. It's not because he brought them in and said, look, you're starting from day one. Martin used to do that. He's got Bale in and he tells them you're going to play every game.
But has Martin Jol also signed Edgar Davids to play in the middle of the park?
It's experience to help the younger players out. Yeah,
he signed Edgar Davids. Who have we signed? Mate Pape-Sarr, Bergvall. Who else did he sign in the middle?
Madison,
yeah, further up the pitch. But he hasn't really signed a player of pedigree. Someone who you say, do you know what? That's a player. And the thing with Ange is he sits there nodding his head. Yep, happy with the squad. Yep, they're working hard to get me the players. He was broken, right? The first 2 weeks of January, he looked broken. And he sits there in front of the media going, they're working really hard to get some players in. Mate, what are you talking about? We knew for a month and a half we had an injury crisis, and they signed the players the last 2 days of January.
What I'm saying in terms of the bigger thing, in terms of say comparing Ange to Jol is, say Ange, for just hypothetically speaking, right? Say Gray existed back in 06, right? If we signed Archie Gray back in 06 for say half the money, Jol would play him from day one, yeah. We signed Archie Gray this summer, and this is not a dig at him as a player or anything, but it took X many number of injuries for him to play. So the whole idea of us having a rebuild is a myth because we just, like you said, stop playing youngsters just to try and sell them on in 2-3 years. So, we're not even doing the rebuild as such. I don't even know what we're doing. I don't even know what we're doing.
Mate, re-signing Werner was everything that you needed to know about Ange, Lange and Levy. That for me was just... I gave up on the project then because I thought there's no project that involves nonsense like that. I just got a couple more super chats and then I want to discuss the starting lineup and a couple of players actually that played today. Ian, JD, big up to you. Now we've got our players back from injury. What are the excuses? Why have our performances not changed? This manager's the worst I've seen. And a user says, I saw Solanke limping off. Have we heard anything? Do you know what? Let's start there, guys, actually, because I did want to speak about him. Solanke, he came on, played approximately 6.5 minutes, jumped up for a header. The goalie leapt in the air fairly, caught the ball. And Solanke kind of took a nudge in that 50-50, went down, and he was banging his hand on the ground. And I was doing a watch long at the time. I said, guys, I think he's hurt. And no, he'll be all right. I said, no, guys, look, he's banging the ground with his hand. I think he's hurt. And then he got subbed off.
He got smashed into when he went up for the ball.
Well, Ian, I got to see the replay over and over again because I was doing a watch long. The goalie's jumped up, kept his eye on the ball and caught the ball. It was a fair challenge. It wasn't.
I think it was just an accident. I don't think he meant to hurt Solanke, to be honest.
No, not at all. He kept his eye on the ball and caught the ball. But Solanke was brave. He went to win the header. The goalie, just because he had the reach of his arms, he was always going to win that battle as long as he caught the ball. But Solanke took a nudge and then he fell awkwardly as well. But from the looks of it, it looks like he's going to be out again. Sorry?
As he was being helped off and around the pitch, he was holding the base of his back.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he's going to be out again for a period.
Possibly.
Apparently, someone in the comments said he just has a knock. Apparently, Ange said he just has a knock. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
I don't think it was just a knock because he was screaming on the ground.
Someone in the chat said that. I'm not saying I'm agree with it. I don't even know. I'm not there, so.
Well, look, I mean, the fact is, if he is injured, he's not playing Sunday against Bournemouth. and he's not going to play next week against AZ Alkmaar. So the striker that we were hoping to come back and everything was going to come together is going to be out again potentially. What would you make of it? Is it a massive blow if Solanke's out, guys?
I think it is. Listen, this is nothing to do with his previous injury. This is bad luck. He's picked up a knock during a match situation. I think they've got to bring Scarlett in on Sunday, definitely. Tell for me is not a centre forward. It's very hard to judge players when they're playing in a system that's just
crap. What were we going to say?
Probably something on in the
Does anyone else have a thought process on Solanke?
You know the funniest thing is I was on Sabbath this morning, and I actually said I'm really happy to see Solanke back in the squad. Well, that lasted long, didn't it?
Yeah.
That lasted all of 10 minutes.
I can
from
see
what people
why
are saying,
he wants Solanke on.
Yeah, we needed a goal.
So why do you take Madison off, for God's sake?
Mate, there is no rhyme and reason anymore. It's mix and match, jumpers for goalposts, headers and volleys, 3 and in. It's what it is now.
We don't even get that. He doesn't even play a fucking long ball. It's all like passing around the back with like 1-0 down with like 5 minutes left. He's still passing around the back.
I mean, you've got 5 minutes left. Personal opinion. Each play the way they do. I tell my players, right, you start pumping that ball in that box. If anything, if I know my defender's the best header of the ball, I get him in the box as well. Get up there, get that in there. Last corner, get the fucking goalkeeper up there as well. I don't care, get it in. We just don't do it.
I just don't get it.
Do you know what? I've got to give some praise to AZ Alkmaar, their manager. Okay, because I don't know if you noticed what they did. Talk about doing your homework. Whenever Vicario got the ball at his feet, they pressed us in a 3-man press, and they scored up high, and they won the ball, or they forced misplaced passes from the back. But when the centre backs of Spurs had possession of the ball, not Vicario, AZ Alkmaar, they dropped back and let us have the ball, knowing that they're not going to give up the space in behind, because that's Spurs' most lethal weapon when the wide players for Spurs are released. And it's almost like they said to themselves, we'll press them when the goalie's the one starting the play, because we can win the ball up high. But if the centre-backs or the back line of Spurs have got the ball, drop off, which is exactly what City did on the previous game, where they dropped off a bit. So they almost knew when to press, when to drop, when to press, when to drop. And Spurs didn't have a clue what to do. We had no answers. And they're not an amazing team, but they had a plan and they stuck to it. And when Spurs did get forward, they dropped everyone back in the deep line. They stayed structured. They gave us very little. And when they did go forward, down the wings, they ripped us. And they knew that's what it was. So
focused on the left, where Porro would usually be. Okay, Spence done a better job down there than Porro usually would, but he had bloody Johnson in front of him to cover his arse, who we would have usually preferred Kulusevski there, because he's a better cover of the ball, basically. Even though I prefer him in the middle, but he's a lot better at coming back and helping the right back, inverted wing back, whatever the poor player's meant to be. And Davis was pretty much cooked there on his own, wasn't he?
The thing is, Dan,
what they do to us every time.
The thing is, Dan, they knew how to attack us, and they knew how to defend against us.
We got out-tactics by the manager.
This isn't an elite.
I've never seen it before.
Well, here's the thing. This isn't an elite team, and he's not a top European manager. And they looked at us, watched us, and said, "This is the plan," and they pulled it off. Their best player, guys, their best player went off injured after 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Their best player went off injured after 2 minutes. So I thought to myself, holy fuck, what's going to happen when we play Bilbao, Roma?
We won't get there anyway, so it's not...
Lazio. But no, I'm just saying, if we get to that stage and you play against managers that are even better, this is why I said we're never going to win the Europa Cup. This is Guys, this is why for the last 2 months I've been saying we're not winning the Europa Cup, because we are going to come up against managers that totally get it, and we haven't got. We didn't have a clue against the mighty Alphabet FC Alkmaar, A to Z Alkmaar, Alphabet FC, right? What chance have we got? And fans sit there going, I can't wait for Ange to win the Europa. When they do, I will be there. I want an apology. I am saying sorry for shit.
I don't think
My
you'd
man
even
ain't
win the
winning
Europa
shit,
League
mate.
in fucking FIFA.
Brian, what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Sava.
I mean?
Sava's put a comment in there, which I'm just laughing at. I've just commented him back. Because I said, when I was on his show, I looked at it because Danny told us we got 66 points last season. We need to win all 11 games remaining just to tie on last season's.
Wow.
We're not winning on Sunday.
Mate, I think we're winning one more game this season. That's Southampton. And I didn't put that as stress. I'm putting that. Well, I have to say right now, when you look at it, Stowe, and you're saying how Man City did it and how AZ Alkmaar do it, I'm sure managers start preparing and working out tactics like a few weeks before. They don't need to do anything for Spurs. They're like, we've got Spurs in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, yeah, we know the drill. We know what to do. We just do this. Just do what they do, and you'll beat them. Just keep compact. That's what we do, or other teams do now. There's nothing that changes apart from the excuse and how bad the performance is.
The pitch.
That's all that changes. And the other thing I want to say, and I want to mention this about, I don't get this. I don't. Solanke for Ballon d'Or, Sava. So yeah, no. Do you know what? I said when I said Solanke will be back, I'm happy that he's back, and I really like him. Someone said that I called him world class because I said I'm happy that he's back. So I said, yeah, he's going to win the Ballon. Yeah, he's world class because I said I'm happy and I like her. But getting back to it, Human Son, can someone please explain to me why every time Tottenham Hotspur have a free kick, he's easily taken off the ball? When we go away on Europe, when we go on international breaks, every single international break, Human Son direct free kick goal. Comes to Tottenham, he's the captain. Free kick in a dangerous area, he's hovering around the ball. Maddison or whoever says something. I even remember against Nottingham Forest last season, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg pushed him off the ball and took a free kick. Oh, why won't Sonny take a free kick for us? He's a captain.
No, I agree with you, Brian, but do you think it's partly his fault as well? Because he is the captain.
Oh, completely. Completely.
That's why he ain't captain material.
He's the captain.
Never has been captain.
But he should be.
But look when he was taking the
corner.
corners. They were crap. He can't take corners.
Guys,
on a regular basis, he can't take.
That free kick, oh my God.
The free, mate, it's just summed up our season.
We tried to play a 1-2. We tried to play a 1-2 on the edge of the box.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out which was funnier, that routine, or do you remember, I think it was against Leicester, when two players ran into each other, Bentancur and someone, they went for a shot, and they both fell over each other. Actually, I think it was against Newcastle. It was Newcastle, it was Solanke and Bentancur. I'm trying to work out which one for the Benny Hill music, whether it's the shot on goal where two people run into each other or a free kick where they don't have a clue what they're doing.
I don't know how we make simple things look really difficult. Like, I don't understand.
Son ain't a free kick taker, though. I mean, okay,
Steve,
he might do
right,
country in there, but look at the teams he plays against when he's playing international. They're not exactly quality usually when he goes and does it on that side of the world, are they? Okay, World Cup and everything, all total different kettle of fish. But my man ain't no free kick taker, and his corners are appalling at the best of times. He can't cross the ball, come love nor money, 9 times out of 10. Now and again, you get a good run out of him and that. That's why, for me, Son has never been a good winger. For me, he's always been an excellent inside forward, and that is what he does best. Yeah. Or even put him as the striker for the meantime. As an out-and-out winger, Son is a bang average player at best. He is not a winger. He is not a free kick taker. He is not a long baller. When have you ever really seen him score long balls outside the box? I mean, like a 30-yard screamer or a 25-yard and that. They're always on the ball
on the line of the box, isn't they? Or just in the box or just out. He's never been powerful enough to do that. And that's not disrespect to his style of play, to the player. It's just some players have got the physicality, some people ain't. And like someone else says on there, disrespect to Asia. No, fuck off. It's no disrespect to that. It's just the standard of football out there isn't as high as the standard of football elsewhere in the world. Simple as that. That's like, am I being disrespectful now if I say Scotland ain't a superior league to the Premier League? Bollocks.
The thing is as well, like Ange is so out of his depth. I don't know if you noticed as well in the game. What happened was when Spurs did press up, every single time you could see, mate, they were so well practiced for tonight, and it pissed me off because they played 2 games before us. They had less practice time, yet they looked like they'd practiced more. Every time we did push up, their goalkeeper, he wouldn't kick it long. He'd send a long pass to the wide areas. He kept looking for the long ball on the flanks to get in. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold on a minute. When Vicario's got the ball and AZ press, why isn't Vicario looking for a long pass to either Son or Odebert or Johnson to set them free? Why aren't we doing that? Not once did Vicario look for a long, wide ball. Exactly what AZ did to us, which is the right thing to do, right? If you want to beat the press, you go long and wide. You find the pocket in behind. Why isn't Ange telling our players to do it? And we kept trying to play out from the back, thinking, fuck my life. How many more minutes do you want to spend? It's not working. You've got to do something different. And
a lot of it common sense. Like, you're under pressure.
It is common sense. It is common sense.
You're under pressure away from home. Kick it long. Like, it's not rocket science.
Surely. When in doubt, kick it out, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Just when it's down to them last 5 minutes and you need that fucking goal, kick that ball. Get everyone up there you can, which shouldn't really be a problem for the way Ange plays football, because we usually have defenders on the halfway bloody line. And then when it seems that we need to do that long ball one, we sort of start sitting back and you're like, hang on, mate, get your defenders on the halfway line and get up there. Boot it. But we don't. We just piss ball about as usual. And again, it is back to that other point, what pisses me right off, where we take more chances in front of our own goal with silly little direct balls than we do in front of the other people's goal. I've been saying this for 18 months now. That bit does my head in.
No, Dan, you're right. There is a difference, though, just from kicking it to actually purposely sending a long ball forward to the wide areas, because you know there's space there, and actually your best asset is the speed down the flanks. And not once did we look for that. And AZ Alkmaar, guys, Troy Parrott broke through one-on-one with our goalie and could have made it 2. They split. When in the game did we split them open like that? Once. I don't remember once we split them open. I can't think of a moment.
What was our shot? I don't remember it.
I don't think we had any.
No, we had one.
I don't think we had a shot on target.
We had one shot on target the whole game.
What was the shot? Do you remember?
Okay.
In fact, let me check. I've got it here.
No,
my bad. Forgive me.
One shot on target the whole game.
Shit. My bad. Sorry.
No, I forgot. I'm trying to ask him what shot it was, because I can't remember it.
Yeah.
I can't remember either, to be honest with you. It's got a couple more super chats. Let me just quickly do super chats, because otherwise I can't keep on top of them. Big up Simon from the Wells of Wall Street. Guys, if you're into crypto or metaverse, check out the Wells of Wall Street channel on YouTube. I'm not just saying it because he's a friend of ours, but Simon is bloody good at it. I thought it was funny when Son came off. He gave Maddison the armband, which lasted 5 seconds because Maddison got taken off. That was the highlight for me, mate. I tell you what. What.
When them two were sitting next to each other, mate, that Maddison looked pissed off. I'm telling you, he's gone at the end of the season if Ange ain't gone. Like I've said, him and Ange got issues. Whether it's down to the pitch, I think Maddison's been the one who's actually been the cocky one to come up to him and say, look, Gaffer, like, come on, man, get your act together. Something ain't working here. Give him an idea. And I reckon Ange's just gone into one with him. Either that or Ange's walked into the hotel and seen Maddison with his wife, one or the other.
Someone's got nude pictures of someone, right?
Exactly
you've got to look at it in one way. We've had managers that were doing a better job get sacked for doing better. We've had managers that have had worse players get better results, but there's still nothing. you can go through the list since Levy's been here. Apart from one day Ramos, when we're bottom of the league, and Potts right at the end, but that was in November, not now in March. All the managers have been higher in the league, been sacked before cup finals, been sacked at half time.
Yeah.
And but then the managers that were actually doing a better job with worse players, because they had Harry Kane or a Gareth Bale, they had that stardust, but they've all gone for doing better than what we're currently doing. Yet we're all here. Or sorry, the club are standing by him, or the club or the fan base are thinking, don't worry, he can turn this around. That was our 18th defeat. How can you go on, Dan?
Don't give my man Harry Kane. He might have saved us 3 games. There wouldn't be much difference if we had Harry Kane on the pitch, except we'd have a few more goals. But then look where we were. We were in like the bottom half of the table with more. We was in the bottom half of the table, like in 15th.
What I'm saying is, managers had Harry Kane to bail them out.
No, I'm not debating that. As all I'm saying is even if my man had Harry Kane, it wouldn't make much of a difference. We was in like 14th, and we still had the 4th or 5th best goal ratio in the bloody game, for God's sake. And
well, at least Kane, when he wasn't scoring. At least when he wasn't scoring, he dropped deep and he'd create.
But I honestly, I don't think it'd make much difference.
I agree.
Honestly, maybe we'd have a fucking another 6 or 9 points. Okay, 9 points a big thing, but I honestly don't think there'd be much difference.
Do you think if Harry Kane was still here, Son would be playing better?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because I think it also blatantly shows how much Son relied on Harry Kane.
Well, that's my point.
This really shows now. Yeah, but where Son has lost part of his legs and his stamina due to age, which he has, it happens to all of them, you can definitely see his football's gone downhill as well, because when Harry Kane wasn't playing and was injured, Son still looked twice the player he does now.
But we still play with a front 2 or a front 1. Now this front 3, I don't think it works for Son, especially without Kane.
4-1-1 though, would he? Where would he still put Son on the left and Kane in the middle, and would he force Son to play wide? I don't know.
Watch played with 2 up top. Conte played with 2 up top.
Would Ange do that?
Mourinho played with 2 up top. Ange plays with 3.
That's what I'm saying. He would force Son to play wide, or try and force him to play wide.
Yeah,
the way Mourinho done it with Son, he basically played Son as a shadow striker.
Yeah, and
he'd have him out wide, and then he actually had Harry Kane come back as almost like a false 9, drop the ball over for him, and Son charged.
Mourinho.
That's when we all realised how good Harry could pass, and Son could put it in the net.
Mourinho played with 9 at the back and just punted it long, bypassing the midfield to Son and Kane. It's literally just send it for. Listen, I got this super chat. Big up, Sava. Sideways, 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 backwards, sideways, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. Pass straight to the opposition and ball. Pretty much. A user. People complained Conte and Mourinho were boring. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
A user. Levy paid Troy Parrott to miss any chances he got. I'll tell you what, guys. I thought Troy Parrott put himself about tonight. I thought he was a bit of a menace for Spurs tonight.
Oh, you knew he was on that pitch. No 2 ways about it.
Yeah. It meant something to him, didn't it, tonight? It meant something to him. It's kind of weird why it didn't mean much to our players. Why does it mean something to Parrott but not to our players?
Because he's basically trying to turn around and say, screw you to Spurs, isn't he? And you can't blame him for it. I'd want to do it. Club takes me out, subs me out, kicks me out because they think I ain't good enough. I'll go round and then score a hat-trick against them. I'm running up against the crowd doing that.
Remember what Adebayor did?
But why? So the question is, why aren't the Spurs players saying, screw you, AZ, we're going through, not you. We're going to win this trophy, not you.
Do you not think it's partly because of Ange? Because Ange is not motivating the players enough. I look at him and I'm just like, it's like this guy is just clocked out.
He has no link with them. He has no link with his players. Not a proper link.
Yeah, but still, as an individual football, listen, I've played under dodgy managers, right? But when I was on the pitch, regardless of what the manager said to me, I'm like, I'm not going down like this. I ain't fucking going down like this. There's got to be something within the play. Do you think the culture of who was it that said it's just too comfortable at Spurs? Conte. They don't like playing under pressure. They don't like. Do you think the culture of Spurs actually hurts the players from pushing themselves, guys?
I said this earlier on Savage Show. I ain't going to go deep into this one, but football these days is shit. Let's be honest, yeah. Compared to the 90s and 2000, football this day and age, for me, it's too much AI, it's too much tic-tac, tic-tac. You ain't got no flair out there. You ain't got no man with a pair of bollocks out there. No one gets stuck. It is crap football these days. The passion ain't there. But Spurs, I said it a million times, we are too nice. Our fan base is too woke, too bloody accepting sort of thing. Like, give everybody a chance, give them 5 chances. Don't worry, the 8th manager's coming in. He'll get Ndombele working, even though he's put on about 5 fucking stone and won't leave the McDonald's alone. He'll go and say, no, come on, he'll get Lo Celso working, even though he's got Weetabix for ankles and he's proved it over 5 years. That's our fan base for you. No, we got to keep Mr. Son. He's been excellent for us, this and that. No, he's been quality, but we should have sold him 2 years ago because that is what a big club would do. No, we shouldn't get rid of Lores. He's been our captain throughout. No, we should have shifted him 3 years earlier. We're too nice at Spurs. We're too accepting. The fans, the players just get used to it being so comfortable. I mean, look at what Harry Kane said the minute he went by Munich and they lost the game. He said he nearly had a panic attack, for God's sake, because of like the whole place went up in roar. Look at what they said at Chelsea when who was their owner?
Abramovich.
Abramovich used to turn up on the fucking helicopter, which probably had miniguns on it. They used to all start shitting bricks. Levy walks past their place, starts shaking hands with him, and says, "Kiss them on the hand" or whatever. And that is
They get a Rolex for getting to a final.
You get what I mean? You get what I mean?
Then our fans were singing Ange's name with 5-1 down at home to bloody Liverpool.
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly.
That's culture. That's culture right there.
I
That's a
couldn't
culture
believe
problem. By the way, guys, there's 700 people watching. Please like, please subscribe. And Hasper TV, take 10 seconds, go and follow his channel. And when you're done with that, Hotspur Hood, go and follow Dan's channel as well. And then when you're done with that, put the kettle on. No, I'm joking. When you're done with that.
Oh, very good. Very good. I like that.
Tottenham on tour. Get over to Daigle's channel. Like, subscribe, follow Daigle. And go follow Sav's channel as well. He put in a super chat, right? Go follow Sav as well. Make sure you go and do it. Thank you very much. Yeah, look, there is a cultural problem, and it has just infected everyone: players, coaches, fans. This acceptance of it's okay, it's all right. It's not all right. At some point, it has to stop. It can't be it's all right anymore. It can't be all right anymore. That's and do you know what? I think the beginning of it not being all right anymore. I'll tell you what it was. It was this. It was this. Over 2,000 people on the streets because it's not all right anymore. That's what needs to grow. That's the point where I think managers, players, staff, they say, do you know what? It's not all right anymore, is it? Because at the moment, it is an acceptance. Like this will blow over. Tonight will blow over. Maybe we beat Bournemouth. Maybe we draw. We probably lose. And it'll be like, well, you know, we're focusing on Europa. It's all right. Forget the league. It's not all right. It's not all right to lose league games. It's not all right. Don't you guys just feel there's just a general acceptance at our club where it's just
100%.
There's too many fans that accept it and they make excuses and they defend it, and it happens every single season.
Perfect example, Timo Werner. When we first got him, now even me, I turned around and said, right, the player's crap. But I could actually understand why Ange, if it was Ange, but Ange sort of got him, yeah? Because if that was Ange's style of play, the way he wanted Son to do it, then Timo is another man. He plays exactly the same as Son. It's just, when I say he's a poor man's Son, he must be a beggar. I mean, like, proper. He is absolutely shit. But he plays exactly the same way as Son. He's just absolutely awful at it. So I could understand why he would want a player like Werner, but surely he could have got better. But for 6 months, okay, or 5 months, get on with it, he's gone. But then to bring him back in again, that's just when you know this place is fucked, and the fan base is sitting there making reasons for it. Yeah, but he did score 2 goals for us. Oh, yeah, but he did do this for us. What the hell did he do? Oh, he scored 2 or 3 goals. Well done, mate. 165k a week, and you scored 2 or 3 goals in 6 months. What do you want me next? Blue Peter fucking badge for you. And with that as well, it's just, you're right. But people started giving reasons. No, Ange wants him for a reason. He fits Ange ball. He fits this. He fits that. Like every other player we've had, all those 16 players out there we bought, or 14, whatever it is, they all match Ange ball perfectly, 100%. And then all of a sudden, when it's not working today, or it's not working tomorrow, oh no, it's that player. He ain't putting the effort in, or he ain't doing this. He ain't. No, maybe the player's just being playing out of position. He's been playing to invert when he's an overlapping wing back. Maybe the defence are letting in a lot of goals because they're sitting on the halfway line. Maybe the goalkeeper is screwing it up a lot because he ain't a fucking midfielder. Yeah, but no, sort of thing. We have excuses. And then anyone who comes and opens their mouth and says a home truth and that, you're toxic this, you're negative that, you're labelled this. I mean, bloody hell, you might as well call us a bunch of far-right extremists. It's just Spurs. It's who we are, mate. Simple as that.
Problem is, like, my biggest issue is that a lot of fans will say, "Oh, what an amazing window," blah blah. Then 9 months, 6 months later, 3 months later, whatever, they're like, "Oh no, well, Ange wasn't back." Hold on, you spent the whole summer telling us these players are all bloody amazing that we signed. What narrative is it? Was he back? Was he not back? Are you just going to change the goalpost tomorrow and say he changed the injuries? Then it changed to the pitch today. I don't know what's next, but like, there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse.
Tonight was tactically inept. I've explained. They pressed the goalie when he was on the ball. They dropped off when our centre backs had the ball. When we pressed them, they went long and wide to release the wide players. They constantly repeated that same pattern: when to press, when to drop, when to go long and wide. There was triggers that instructed the players, right, that's happening, do this. That's happening, do that. They played it to a T. It was literally, I was watching it play out and I could see it. And after about 30 minutes, someone go watch the watch along we did today. I explained the pattern once I saw it, and it kept happening. With us, I had no fucking idea what we were doing. Other than always trying to play it from the back, I had no idea what the midfield was trying to doing. I don't know how we were trying to create chances. I didn't understand the movement of the front three. The only time it made sense is when Spence kind of went in, then went out, and he got fed into the byline. I think Odegaard did it once or twice. So there was a couple of forward plays where I thought, all right, I kind of understand that, but it didn't happen too often. Mate, I had no idea what Spurs were doing tonight, whereas the opposition, it was so obvious what they were doing, and it worked. So I think tonight was tactically mental.
Play against. Like, I know you've heard what the commentator said. He said, like, AZ got their goal. They're just dropping off Spurs now, and just seeing it out the game. The 1-0, they could have scored 2 or 3 more, obviously. But it was so easy. Like, it was so easy to play against. And I spoke before in the stream here. We went live. I still think this is worse football than I bloody saw in the late 90s and 2000s. I'm sorry, this is worse. And it's bad because we're better players than we did back in, like, Tarico, Anderson on like one leg, Jamie Redknapp, players like that I had to watch as a kid. I'm
not going to lie. Christian Gross was a tough watch. Christian Gross was a tough. It was a tough watch.
Yeah, but do you know what? Still, Christian Gross may have been a tough watch, but there was David Ginola.
Yeah, we had something special.
Brilliant. You never knew something special may have happened. The unexpected, him, the skill, the flair, the just brilliance of him.
I mean, but look at it. People were complaining about Conte and everything, and yeah, I bet a lot of people would shut their mouth and quite happily take Conte back now. But then again, you have a lot of
take Jerry Francis back.
You know what I mean? I ain't messing about when I'd say I'll quite happily take Southgate for the next 3 months. I don't want him full time, but I'll quite happily take him.
I've got limits.
Right, you got an option. Right, you got an option now, there. Yeah, I'll give the panel an option. Yeah. We get rid of Ange now, and we got Southgate for 3 months, and then we get our new manager, whoever he is. Or we
I'll take Mason. I'll take Mason. Give me Ryan Mason.
I didn't give you that option.
I'm taking Southgate.
One or the other.
I'm taking Southgate for 3 months. I don't.
At least Southgate's teams defend.
At least Southgate would. I think he'd actually suit our players better than Ange. I'm not saying I want him in full time, but I'm giving him an option. I know it's like another option.
I'd rather Ange.
No, I can't watch another game of Ange, please.
I can't accept Southgate. I can't because I know what would happen. Dan, you said for 3 months. You know what happened?
Why is the bar so low? Why are we going to
Exactly.
start? Why is the bar so fucking low, man?
Because we've only got 3 months of the season left.
Full time. South, no.
All right, if all that weren't going to happen, and we know for a fact he's out at the end of the season, would you drop Ange tomorrow for Southgate for 3 months?
Yes, just please.
Yeah.
Do you know? I'd rather go managerless. Just let the players. Just let
Again,
them
that
out.
was not the spell. Stop diverting the question. Yeah, the question is, he's going to go at the end of the month.
Yeah, but
come
it's a
enough more
horrible
money.
question.
Whether
It's a
I don't
horrible
care.
question.
Life's a bitch, mate. Tell me about it. You have to watch Spurs. He's going to go at the end of 3 months, whether it's because he goes abroad or whether it's because he walks in front of a bus. I don't care. He's gone.
Yeah, but it's
Dusty,
like
yeah?
saying, would you rather
So
chew on poo or would you rather drink it? I don't want no poo.
Well,
I don't
one of the options. What
Well,
would
it's
you
just I
do
don't want
right
no-
now?
I don't want
We
it.
are in that much of a situation right now where the football is that abysmal. The manager is that clueless at the football. The players just don't look like they want to be there. You are that option now.
All right, do
Could
you know what?
Southgate
I'd go
actually
for
get us to a
Southgate.
final in Europa?
I'd go with Southgate for one reason, because at least it's some kind of change. It's some
structure,
kind of a
it's
change.
Exactly.
It's just, even if it doesn't work, it's, by the way, Michael from Poland says, disgusting what I saw today. Clueless Brisbane Bielsa's done. He's no idea how to set us up. He's changing nothing, no passion, nothing. Michael, you'll be sitting with us in the stadium on Sunday to watch it. So, safe journeys tomorrow, my man. Safe journeys tomorrow. Matty,
Still, can we give you the job for 3 months to end the season or something?
I refuse to work under Levy. I categorically.
I'll try and find someone instead of Ange.
Oh, mate, come on. The press. I keep saying the press would be the shortest ever running manager. The opening press conference, you just go full Conte. You just go full Conte, and then you get sacked, mate, and you'll get whatever million you paid for. You get done.
Mate, first press conference would be, we want Levy out. Say, we want Levy out.
No, you ain't got the right idea. I'm telling you, you're lot of clueless, mate. You ain't got the right idea. I'll take that job all day long. I'll kiss Levy off and everything, top man and whatever, get my money and everything. And that next thing I know, man walks out, he's got something underneath his
I'll
car.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I will definitely be able to set us up better and make us more defensively robust. I don't know about the attack because I don't rate the players, but I would definitely make us more defensively solid and harder to beat. No doubt about it. I know I could do that. But that said, Matty, you saw tonight. Yeah. You're a big Ange fan. You're a big Levy, you know. What's your? No, he's not. He was at the protest. He was at the protest. What did you make of it, Matty, tonight? Because listen, I admit it. I predicted we would win tonight. I did. I predicted we'd beat West Ham, and we did. I predicted results, and I've got some wrong, some right. But overall, I stick to what I said. We're not winning the Europa Cup. I'm not changing my mind on that. But I did think tonight we would win, Matt. I did, because I thought we were better than them. I watched us play them in the earlier stages, and I thought with a few players back here, we got them. Mate, they played us off the park. They were the better team.
Yeah, but I think they as the team have also improved. Since their first game, they have improved. But, I mean, I just can't be bothered. Like, it's so boring watching the same thing every single week. I mean, we're just not changing. It's the same thing every single week. When we went into Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, we went in with a tiny bit of hope, and then we came out. Then we went that weekend to Villa in the FA Cup. We went in, we came out, same thing. Then we come tonight. It's Eredivisie team, who's sixth in the Eredivisie. They're not a big team by any stretch. And I think our fans underestimated them. I mean, I don't know. It's very aggravating to watch us because we don't change. And we don't. How can you play for a club and not try your hardest? Like, it's crazy watching these players. They come for the wage and they're not putting as much effort as they need. And it's so painful to watch, honestly. Yeah, something needs to change. I don't know why Ange's still here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to get far in Europe. We're going to get out, I think, to AZ. I think they'll bash us, I think. I think we'll lose 3-0 in the second leg.
It was
really? I think at home we knock them out. I think at home we knock them out, guys.
I think we're going to draw, actually. I think we're going to draw the home game now. I don't think.
Why would the home make a difference? Well, what is our... We haven't got a fortress. We've got a little stadium which has no atmosphere.
Well, we haven't lost one European game at home this season.
My worry is they'll come to us and just park 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
Can I just say, did you help out? Can I just say that? I've just checked. Well, I went away on Tottenham TV. They've clipped it, obviously, like they do, and they've put as the title, "Us fans need a reality check." I've had 3 Americans say, "What's wrong with the American fan base?" because they think I'm saying the US fans.
Oh, us.
Well, they're going, "What's wrong with us American fans?" I'm like, oh my good God. You know, when they don't even watch the video, they just read the title. It's "Us fans need a reality check." And this fan base. that basically sums up like our free kick we had earlier. I honestly, it's you gotta love it. You've got to love it.
What do you guys make of this player, by the way? Because we were talking about players. Odegaard. He's just come back from injury. Look, I when he first played his first game for Spurs, fans were like really excited. Look at his energy, look at his enthusiasm. And I said to fans, I said, how many goals he scored? None. How many assists? None. How many successful dribbles? 20%. He fails on 80% of his dribbles. What are you getting excited about? Oh, come on, he's only just started. Give him a chance. I'm like, guys, I never said don't give him a chance. You're all getting excited. What has excited you? His energy. Tonight, do you know what I saw? I don't think he beat the man once.
No.
I don't think he beat his man once.
Did anyone beat any man?
Well, Johnson can't do it anyway on a normal day. So, I mean...
No, I'm just saying, like...
No, I mean, Johnson...
has no end product.
Is Odegaard realistically... Is he the level?
At least Johnson gets the goals. Johnson's in the right place at the right time. Johnson's getting the goals. He's got 9 goals in the Premier League this season. But Odegaard hasn't got the goals. You can say Odegaard's been injured, but so is Johnson, to be fair, a lot of the season. I mean, that's the difference.
Odegaard's been injured a lot more, man. He's been out for like 3 months, like 3.5
Yeah, of course, but he hasn't got any goals or assists, whereas Johnson's got 9, and people are...
Yeah, but Johnson, mate, that player is just shocking. I mean, okay, he gets his tap-ins, fair enough, but for me, he's bad. That player, he is so bad that he couldn't do himself on a Friday night after a fucking piss up. He is absolutely shocking. I don't dig him at all. And that Odegaard, well, you've seen 1 or 2 things out of him, and what else have you actually seen? What chances has he had?
He's missed 2 sitters, from what I remember.
I know, but how many consistent games has he really had?
No.
I'm not saying he looks good by any chance. Johnson, though, I just think I really don't rate him at all.
But for Johnson, if he's getting the goals, obviously his performances aren't good. But if he's getting like the goals when he's coming back and he's in the right place at the right time, maybe his runs aren't good, his performances aren't good, but he is in the right place and he's getting the goals, and that's not what other players are doing. So,
okay, so if we're comparing Johnson to players that offer nothing, then Johnson's going to win because he offers something. But is something enough? Is that good enough? Because, you know, we nearly won league titles and we nearly won major honours with Eriksen's, Dele Alli's, Prime Kane, Prime Son, Gareth Bale's, Luka Modric, Van der Vaart. This was the calibre. We're now looking at Odegaard, Johnson, a son who's captain who doesn't play like a captain. Like, what? Like, are we?
What I would say with Johnson,
are we just being emotional? Are we just being emotional and saying, you know, give it a chance, be patient, or are they just not good enough?
I don't think Matt's got a good point. I don't think Johnson's a winger. He never was a winger at Forest, and he does have a knack.
He was a winger, but he was a counter-attack winger, and that's not our system.
I think he was a second striker personally. That's just what I saw. But like, we're obviously playing him where he shouldn't be playing. But at the same time, I agree with Dan. Like, I don't think he's the levels. Like, I don't rate him that highly. But he does have, like you saying, Matt, about the goals and stuff, because he did play as a second striker at Forest. So
he does get the tackles.
I'm going to sit here and say he's just completely rubbish. But, you know, I just don't think he's a winger. He's not a winger. And I don't think he's that great of a footballer. But he's still, like, all right, let's say. I don't know. So I'm not saying he's rubbish. I'm not saying he's, like, I don't rate him. But... you got a point. I'm saying I agree with both of you, but disagree at the same time.
Right. Do you remember AZ Alkmaar, the first time we played them at our ground in the Mikey Moore came on. I've seen more from Mikey Moore in that 15-minute Say again, Brian?
He started that game. He started on the right on the first half and then went on the left in the second. And that's when he had the 15-minute masterclass in the second half.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So in that second half then,
Yeah,
I saw
second half
more
was
from Mikey Moore in terms of something I can say there's something there with this player. I haven't once seen that with Johnson, Odebert, Tell. I haven't seen it. I simply haven't seen it.
I agree for those players, but Odobert, has he started 2 games consistent for us ever?
Has Mikey Moore?
Yeah, when he played Alkmaar and Palace, wasn't that 2 consistent games?
Yeah, he did. Okay, fair
He
enough.
he was also very poor against Palace.
Yeah,
So
but
you could
hold
say-
on. So Odebert needs 2 consistent games to prove to us he can dribble.
That's not what I'm saying, but
So what are you saying?
yeah, you're making the right point there. But you
So what's your point?
yeah, okay, you're right. I'm being proven wrong, but yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm just. But Matty, this is what I mean. I think we are trying to find a way to justify players at this club who haven't
They're not
proven
gonna-
anything for us to justify them. Whereas Mikey Moore hasn't proven shit. But what I have seen from him is he came on against AZ and rinsed them. Like dribbling, I haven't seen a Spurs player do since Bale.
Mhm.
And then he came on against Effersborg. The solo goal he scored, no other player on the pitch could do that. No other player on the day did that. So for me, I look at Mikey Moore and I think, do you know what? This boy can play football. We've got to develop him. We've got to nurture him. I haven't seen anything from Odebert, Tell, Johnson, and others to say, what have they shown me for me to be excited about? Do you kind of understand what I'm trying to... Guys, do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Or am I making a mess?
No, I'm with you. I wanted Mikey Moore to bloody play tonight. So I don't get what the guy needs to do to get a game. Son's clearly useless on the left. Put Mikey Moore there at least for like 2-3 games. See what he can do. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like he plays one game, gets dropped for free. Just because.
But then he has shown on another game and not really done anything. It's just the thing is with him, he's got it. It's there.
Yeah.
With the other players, they haven't even done anything to even think they've got anything, let alone it's there.
Dan, that's my point. Spot on.
I get you,
that's,
totally.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Do you want to see Mikey Moore alone next season or not?
If he's not going to get... Well, listen, if we're not in Europe, when are the youngsters going to play?
Yeah.
Then are we going to sign another left winger in summer?
Well, we got Yang Min here.
We've only got 312.
I was going to say so.
We stopped
You process.
we stockpile them. We're really deficient in left wingers. We'll bring up some more. Mate,
honestly, it's like you get them in the back of a van at Spurs, isn't it? Like, just open up the van and 5 of them walk out. There's so many of them there. It's just...
I told you, Migrant FC, minimum wage massive.
We don't do nothing with them. At least Chelsea and that go out and loan them out and everything else and that, rent them out and everything and get the money for it and that. We don't even do that. It's like we take them where we find them, put them in the van, give them to Levy, and he puts them in the cellar, and they just sort of disappear.
I was speaking to...
Like realistically though, if we're not in Europe next season,
when
does Mikey Moore, Lancashire, Scarlett, any of these academy players, when are they going to play? When is Archie Gray going? When is Archie Gray going to play? If we keep Basuma, Sarr, and Bentancur and Romero and Van der Ven back, is Archie Gray going to play?
I think
Basuma will be gone. But the thing is, you got to remember, we keep saying that we want to see Archie Gray in the 6. Ange doesn't play with the 6.
He doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
So it's like we keep saying we want to see him there. With He won't play him there. So he'll play him as whatever. 6, 8, whatever you want to 10, whatever numbers you want to throw. You just got to look at it. When you're going on about these youngsters coming in. I remember when Nick Barmby came through. Nick Barmby was the shining star. We brought him through with an established first team. When other youngsters like Danny Rose came through, we played it. We nurtured him with an established first team. When Gareth Bale started coming through, we had an established. We brought a couple of youngsters through at the same time. When Harry Winks, Ollie Skip came through, an established first 10, 9, whatever, 11. Now it's just like the youngsters. Off you go. Off you go. You've got energy. You've got stamina. You've been bought. Now go do.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do.
But it is, what do we do? What do we even actually do with them, though? It's like I said, they do literally just disappear into Levy's cellar. And then, I don't know, they appear on the other side of the planet or something out of nowhere, like they find their way out or dig hole or something. What
Can I
actually
ask a
happens
question?
with them?
Are we overrating our youth players in the last 1 and 2 years because of how bad our senior players are?
No, they've actually done really well in their leagues, haven't they? In the past 2 seasons,
Who-
the under
who
18s and
have-
21s have actually done really well.
Who have we overrated?
Maybe Lancashire, maybe Scarlett, maybe I think Bonnley, Moore, Devine, they're all brilliant players. I think
Right, Matty, let me ask you this. Pre-season, we played Hearts, we played QPR and a couple of other games. How exciting did our academy players look pre-season?
yeah, they did.
Right. And how many of them have had regular minutes this season?
None. I mean, Archie Gray was playing at centre back against QPR.
Right. So, I mean, for me, look, the others can give you their views. For me, I look at the youngsters pre-season and I think, freaking hell, they look good.
Yeah.
I want to see them play this year. And what I've seen is Odeberts, Tells, and whatnot being given more minutes and more opportunities than those academy kids that shone pre-season. I want to see Lancashire play 5 games in a row. I want to see Scarlett play 5 games in a row. I want to see Mikey Moore play 5 games in a row. And then I can sit here and say, do you know what? They're ready. Or, do you know what? Just not quite yet. Because at Arsenal, they've played Skelly and Nyamweri. Yeah. And they gave them a run of games. And now they're like, do you know what? Let them play more. They're doing all right. We haven't done that. We haven't done that. We haven't done that.
No, Daigle touched on this really well when he said about we brought through certain players and they had senior players in front of them. For example, we look at Mikey Moore, and I'm one of those people who, out of all the youngsters, I like the look of him, and most people would agree with that. Lancashire, I'm kind of 50-50 on. Some of the other ones I don't know enough about them, so I'm not going to start saying names and saying this good. Anyway, on Mikey Moore, if we'd signed, say, a top left winger, not a flipping Werner in the summer, and we said, look, Son goes into the middle, we bring this left winger, like, I don't know, even a Neto or whatever. Say, for example, just Neto, just for argument's sake. We said Neto and Moore are left wingers. Moore will learn off of Neto, etc. Then we have a plan. But we don't sign Odebert, Werner. Like, it's an actual mess. So it's like, it's hard to say in some ways because some of them just don't have good mentors or good experience around them to kind of grow. And at this point, though, we might as well play youngsters for the rest of the season because the league doesn't matter. So we might as well just chuck them all in. I feel comment about that. But I think it's a bit of both. I think some of our fans do overrate some of them, but at the same time, sometimes like there is something there with them, but you won't really know unless you give them like a run of games.
You mean like fans like Ian, basically?
Not specifically Ian. That's what
The thing is,
You basically mean fans like Ian.
Look, the thing is, okay.
Yeah.
If we were firing on all
Be honest. And it is. I know you're watching.
Ian's Archie Gray's uncle. If we were firing on all 4 cylinders,
We got a few in his cellar and all.
and we and we were doing really well, you'd say, do you know what? Maybe don't bring the kids in because it's working. Don't
disrupt the.
But when we're a shit show, the way we've been, there's an argument to say don't let the kids play when it's shit because they're going to drown in that mess. But when it's like this, when we've written off the season, we're like, look, to hell with it, whatever, man. Like, the league's done. Why not play them? Like, I actually think right now, fans don't have any expectation of the Premier League. I think most fans have accepted we're going to finish mid-table. I think most fans have accepted we're not going to be in Europe through the league table. It's a fuck up. So why not play the kids for the next 11 games and say, do you know what? Have a run.
Give it a go.
What do we have to lose as a club or a fan base? We're not finishing higher than 9. If
the fact that we brought in, say, someone like Tell, who is 19, or like Bergvall, who is 18, 19, it does stop some of the younger players that say in those positions in the youth academy from getting more games, because what the club will do, and I don't know if Ange is culpable for this because I'm not there, right? But they'll tell them, look, we signed this player for this much, he's on this much money, you've got to play him. So which means, say, even if Ange wants to play Lancashire, which I don't think he likes Lancashire anyway, he loans them out because Tell's coming in and you have to play Tell instead, even though they're basically the same age. Rather than saying, look, I've got Lancashire here. He's the young striker, say, as a backup, for example. I'll play him instead. Like, it's politics as well, I think, as well, in that respect. But it's just there's no plan. They always go back to the fact that there's no plan. So
It's also about the amount of players we bring in that are young. Like Vuskovic.
yeah, I'm not going to play them all, you know.
Like there's at least 10 players in the last 2 years that we brought in that are under 19. So the thing is, we're not buying other players. We're not buying senior players, but then we're not playing the players we are buying. So it's crazy.
How old is Yang? How old is Yang, the guy on loan?
Isn't he like 19 as well?
I think he's 18. I was speaking to a QPR fan today, and I was talking to him. We were comparing Yang Min-hyuk to Brian Hill because they both have technical ability. So I was watching one of QPR's games. Yang looks like a brilliant player, but his physicality he's not got any physicality, and he looks absolutely awful. Sorry, one sec.
Yeah, okay. At least with Brian Gill, you could say your team are playing a serious league sort of thing. I mean, this other fella we're getting is, I mean, to me, if I'm going to give my honest opinion, I just reckon it's another PC sort of thing. And that's just being gospel honest. If he ends up being epic, then brilliant. That's what we need. But I just think he's there for another PC thing, contact. And that's that.
Do you know what? The only thing about Danny's comments, I'm just happy he's in a good place that he thinks he can be funny. So very long may your happiness continue, Danny.
I thought you were talking about me there. What have I done?
No, Danny Kiriaku's trying to be funny, and he's at home giggling at himself and sending me gifts at the same time. He's a funny guy, that Danny Kiriaku.
Danny, you absolute fraud. You've been miserable all year. As soon as Spurs lose, he's happy. You fraud. Big up, Danny. Danny, you should come on next time. I sent out the link in the chat. Come on next time. Look, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. It's a disappointing night again. It's just been a massive letdown again. Look, we're back on Sunday, people. We're not doing a watch long because Michael's over from Poland, so we're doing a day with Michael. But we will be live 9 p.m. Huh?
No, sorry, Vokov. I love this dude.
Brian's having banter in the chat.
Yeah, you can have good banter with some people. There's some people you don't want to have banter with and can't have banter, but there's some people that have some good banter, and this one's a good one.
Nothing wrong with the sense of humour.
Exactly.
Yeah, look, we're live on Sunday, 9 or 9:30 p.m. Come and join us. We'll be doing a post-match show, and then on Monday we'll do our tactical analysis show, and then the Monday night show. Brian, you got any shows coming up this week, next week?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do some stuff next week. I'm hoping to ramp it up, and I obviously will be going very active and returning the 3 questions in the build-up to the protest on April the 6th. And obviously we've got to remember I think it's on the 15th that Spurs have announced the news of the season tickets, which is a few days after this tie, the second leg. So if we lose, probably be a freeze. And if we win, there'll probably be. I still think there is going to be an increase, and if there is an increase in season ticket prices, I will be going absolutely parabolic, absolutely anywhere you can find me.
You know what my man's going to do, Brian? You know what Levy's going to do, innit? He's going to go and sack Ange, and then he's going to say, "Well, I've got to pay for it somehow," and put the ticket prices up.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. What you got to remember as well is by the time these protests come along. Could be out of the Europa League. Obviously, the league's finished. He could have raised the season ticket prices, and he's got to announce his bonus, which will probably be more than last season for off the field activities and revenue generated. So, I'm going to do all I can to promote the protest and do whatever I can on channels, my channel, any other channel. Before the protest, and then it's just vital that we get a bigger turnout than the last one. And like I said, I literally can't wait for a couple of weeks where there's an international break. Because last weekend I had a wicked weekend. We're not looking at any football, looking at anything, just chilled with Alana, had a wonderful, relaxing weekend. I can't wait for 2 blissful weeks of it on international duty. And I can't wait for the season to end. I have never wanted the season.
International break, Brian.
Say again? After the Fulham game, yeah.
Yeah.
After the Fulham game, I cannot wait for it. God, we spent up until November going, oh, these fucking international breaks. Oh my God, can't wait till November where we don't have them to March. I will never ever say that again, ever. Next season when they go international breaks, we'll be like, fair play. Let's have a break. Let's have a rest. I cannot wait for this season to be done and dusted. Cannot wait.
I mean, I've been like that since October. Dan, have you got any shows coming up? Anything planned?
Yeah, I'm back on my feet, rocking and rolling again, hopefully. So I'll have a few coming in next week and then take it slowly from there. But yeah, I'll have a few in next week.
Make sure you check out all the guys. Brian Daigle, Tottenham on tour. Make sure you check out Hotspur TV. Make sure you check out the Hotspur.
I was gonna say I'm live tomorrow at 5:45. Brian knows he comes on sometimes, but I always leave the link in the chat. But me, TJ, Eugene, whoever will just go live at 5:45. And also I've got my match review video out tomorrow at 8 a.m. UK. It'll just be me ranting again, talk about the same shit I spoke last week, probably. About the
Let me just do it for you. We kicked off. We were shit. We lost. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Just repeat, basically just from watching last week's the same again, basically.
Yeah.
Same Spurs, different day.
Same Spurs, different day. Thank you to all the super chats and the messages. William Leone, Henry Thong TV, Rich, Terry O'Shea, A User, Soul Boy, A User again, Ian DJ, A User, Football Heritage, A User again, Michael from Poland. Big up to all of you and everyone in the chat tonight. Appreciate you all. We will be back on Sunday. The guys will be on all week. Check them all out. And then Monday. And before we go, quick score prediction for Sunday's game. Brian, Spurs Bournemouth.
Could not give a flying fuck.
5-5.
Couldn't give a fuck.
I don't blame you. I don't care either. I'm only going because Michael's here. If Michael weren't coming over, I would have sold my ticket.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is going to the Scotland Yard and being with Toronto Spurs and having a good day with them. That's it. Couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, mate, I totally agree. You got a prediction, Dan?
I'm with Brian, mate, on that one. But if I'm going to be honest, 1-1.
1-1. Hesper.
Everyone's going to hate me. 3-1 Bournemouth.
Why's anyone going to hate you?
You know what? I don't. Now listen. I was going to go 2-1 Bournemouth. I think we're going to lose 2-1. I think we lose 2-1 on Sunday.
Don't worry, there'll be no accountability. There'll be no accountability.
If he did play with all the kids, I'd accept it, right? But the fact is, he'll play some weird ass team, and then we'll probably
if we lose 2-1. Sorry, Dan, go on.
Every time I seem to try and be positive with the result we get, we seem to get we just get done. So I think I might just sit here and say we get smashed 5-0 every time.
Mate, the good thing is, still, if your prediction comes in right and we lose 2-1, Spurs still win, don't we? Because we've only lost by 1 goal, and that's what matters nowadays. That's when it becomes. It's not a loss because we only lost by 1 goal.
Oh God! You know what? End the season, man. Listen, guys, thanks for tuning in.
I think you say end the trophy
like that, isn't it?
We lost by 1 goal trophy.
we lost by 1 goal trophy.
Yes, come on. Let's do it.
Listen, we'll be there to pick up the certificate. Listen, we're out of here. Levy out, Mun out, Ange out, everyone out. See you later. Take care. Goodbye.
The first game we look for, Robbie.